Blessings, family. I want you to receive this word today. God is saying that there is grace in your womb. Now, this is spiritually speaking. Okay, so we're talking about spiritual conceiving, pregnancies, and birthing, but also naturally as well. So some of you have been having a difficult time not only conceiving, but actually holding on to that pregnancy again, spiritually as well as literally in the natural. So God is saying that there is grace in your womb for you to carry that to full term as well as to give birth. This is something that you not only are believing God for, but it's something that you're like, God, I needed to hear this today. That I want you to really listen up, and I want you to consider the story of Sarah. Remember that there was a promise on her womb. There was a promise that she would be the mother of many nations, but with that came difficulty conceiving, and it came with difficulty of even holding on to that spiritual promise. Remember, so much so that she started to resort to other options. She was looking around thinking like, God, is this really what you said to me? Because it's not coming to pass. But you know, after all of the difficulty that her and Abraham went through, then of course she conceived, and God is saying, and she conceived and she delivered. And so God is saying to you today, there is grace in your womb. Now, this is something I want you to do. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Release any regret, any unforgiveness that you're holding on to. Release any of that pain. Release any of that even blaming or pointing the finger at someone else, or even something from your past, something that you've experienced, something that you have done that you are regretting and that you are looking at thinking that now this is your punishment that you cannot receive again, spiritually and naturally. A lot of times we go through this. We blame ourselves so much for the things that we look like we're not experiencing, and then we start to say, this must be a punishment from God. Well, you have to understand that that is not how God moves. That is not the heart of God. That is not the love of God that He has for you. So I really want you to just start to release that today and just start to claim this over yourself. Put your hand on your belly and say, I receive that there is grace in my womb, and then have that expectation that you will see this come to pass. You know, I pray that as you're listening to this, that even you're flooded with the reminder from the Spirit of God of how much He loves you, of how much He sees you, and that He will give you the strength. He will give you the courage even to try again, because sometimes we just lose all hope. We say, I'm not even trying again. No, try again and receive spiritually and naturally what God is saying to you in this hour, in this season. All right, family, I love you. Share this with someone else that needs to hear this. They need to be encouraged. They need to know that God still loves them and that there's grace in their womb. Be blessed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.